I just bought this total 2013 Santa Fe Sport from the auction for an insane price, and in the next few days I'm gonna address everything wrong with it, fix it up, clean it up, and try to sell it for a profit. And I have exactly 5 days to figure out if I can fully rebuild it or I messed up big time. Here is me aggressively bidding on this 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport, and I won this for only 2,400 Canadian dollars. And the reason why I chose this stock is because this has the highest luxury trim, which means it is fully loaded with panoramic sunroof and leather seats among other things. And the damage doesn't seem to be as scary as my previous rebuilds. But this assumption is usually where things can go terribly wrong. Some of these auctions are sight unseen, which means this is my first time seeing the car physically after purchasing it. As you can tell, the front bumper and the grille is toast. The hood is slightly bent, but luckily not beyond repair. And I just found out the windshield is cracked too. But check out this interior. It is way too nice for a salvage car. The insurance estimated around $10,800 worth of damage repair. And I'm starting to think there could be more hiding behind this damaged bumper. I have exactly 5 days to rebuild this car and get it out of my garage before the new build arrives. And in the next few days, I'm gonna find out if this was a good deal or a total disaster. The car runs and drives great, so I drove it home from the auction, and the first task on the list is to get some new tires. For some reason, my luck always gets bald tires. So I called my buddies at Autoholics for a mobile tire service, and they removed the old tires, replaced them with new ones, and also gave me a free tire balance all under 30 minutes. So now I can bring the car in and start working on it. Alright, now it's time to start exploring what are the damages of this car and start tackling them one by one. For starters, as you can see, the front grille is obviously broken. The front bumper cover is toast, as well as you can see, the impact absorber is also gone. Moving downwards, the fog light is completely fine. However, the other side, the passenger side fog light is also broken. The hood has a dent here. However, the structure of the hood is completely fine. As you can see, the curve is not affected. I just have to pull forward this dent here, which shouldn't be a difficult job. And as you can see, the windshield has a huge crack, which means the windshield has to be replaced. Now let's check under the hood. And the good news is the battery is good. So on this build, I don't have to change the battery, which is actually a good saving. I need to change the front bumper cover, the grille, the impact absorber, and I also have to change the windshield. But something that is not mentioned is that the radiator needs to be changed, as well as the AC condenser. As you can see, the AC condenser is completely bent, which is why the AC is not cooling anymore. And that has also caused the radiator to leak. So although the car currently runs and drives, but it overheats every now and then, as well as the AC doesn't cool because there is no refrigerant here, and I need to change the AC condenser. So I already got ahead and ordered the part. This is the AC condenser, that's the radiator, that's the impact absorber. And here is the front bumper cover that will go on the car. So without further ado, let's start taking the car apart and let's get down to it. I noticed a large chunk of my repeat viewers haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing to my channel really helps me out and it keeps me motivated to create more engaging content. And I try to read each and every comment, so if you guys have any feedback, do let me know and I'll be reading it. Please do make sure to subscribe and I really appreciate your support. Alright, the front bumper is now out, and as you can see, the driver's side headlight is also out. So now I can see some of the damages which are very obvious. As you can see, the AC condenser is completely bent. I'm gonna go ahead and check if there is any pressure here with a pressure gauge, and that will give me an indication if there is any refrigerant inside of this or not. And if I have absolutely no pressure or no gas inside the system here, which I think is the situation right now because the AC has absolutely no cooling and the condenser is bent. So if there is no pressure and no gas, then I don't need a refrigerant recovery tank. But if there is any pressure, that means there is some gas. I will need a recovery tank in order to recover those gas because I cannot release them in the atmosphere due to environmental regulations. Since I have the front bumper open, that should make it easy for me to replace the radiator as well as the AC condenser. So in today's agenda, first I'll go ahead and remove the old radiator, replace it, and then move on to replace the AC condenser. And coming behind the radiator, the first thing I need to do is make sure I bleed the radiator, and then I can go ahead and start removing this hose from here and the one hose at the bottom right there. In order to get access to the radiator, I do also have to remove the radiator fan. So let me go ahead and first remove this, and then I'll proceed to the next step. Alright, the air intake tubes are now removed. So now I can go ahead and remove the radiator fan plug right here. So this can stay, the one on the top. The one on the below will be removed. So you just have to push down here gently and this should come up. this way. So that's the one you need to disconnect, and the one on the top can stay. And after you remove this, we have this 10mm bolt right here, and the same thing on the opposite side. As you can see, here's the other one that we have to remove. And after that, there's only this pin right here. We just have to bring it forward, and then this radiator fan will come out easily. All right, the fan bolts are out. So one was here and the other one was right here from the back. I just removed them. The next step would be to remove these radiator mounts right here. So the 2 bolts right here, 10mm, 2 bolts right here, 10mm. I forgot to purchase an oil catch pan, so I just had to retrofit a carton box with a polythene bag to catch the radiator fluid. But this should do the job properly. This is the drain plug that I have to loosen up. And once it is completely drained, I will then have absolutely no worries about leaking coolant everywhere. Alright, so to make sure that the AC system does not have any refrigerant in it, or at least to understand if there is any gas in the system left after the front collision, which I highly doubt there would be. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and use this kit right here, which I got it off Amazon. And I'm going to put the link in the description. If you guys are interested, do check it out. So this is a very simple gauge right here. As you can see, it comes with its own instruction manual. This is the gauge that I'm talking about. Ideally, what I want to have is 0 and 0 pressure on both sides after connecting these hoses, and this will confirm if there is any gas in the system or not. They also give you this seal kit inside it that has the AC condenser seals also inside. This kit itself will enable you to have all the things you need to do an AC condenser replacement job. I just went ahead and connected the hoses with each other. So blue one goes here at the low pressure side. The middle yellow one is for recharging purposes, which we will not use. So I went ahead and connected this back to the port. So behind it, as you can see here, you will find ports which are completely empty and it's solid. So here we have the high pressure, here we have the low pressure. As you can see, here's the diagram given here. The blue side is the LP, which is the low pressure. The red side is the high pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these now to the high and the low right there. And before I move on with anything, I want to make sure that these valves are rotated clockwise so that I can close them properly. All right, so before I forget, I do have to connect this one right here. So the red with red. And that is because this mount right here will be connected to the high port here, just like that. Okay, just like that. And I will repeat the same process on the low end. All right, so the high side is connected, as you can see, as well as the low side is also connected. There is absolutely 0 pressure. That means I have nothing to worry about and there is no refrigerant inside the system. And I can go ahead and start removing these both. And I can easily go ahead and do my AC condenser replacement as well as my radiator replacement. Alright, the AC condenser is now out, and as you can see, it is so bent and it probably has seen good days in its life, but right now this is completely toast, so I need to get rid of it. Now to remove the radiator, first I have to go ahead and remove the fan from the back side of it, and then I can remove the top big hose right here, followed by the bottom big hose right here. Alright, the radiator is now out, and I want to tell you something that I made a mistake on while ordering a new piece is that there is no transmission cooler on this radiator. Usually radiators comes in 2 types. One is simply the coolant radiator, but there is the other kind of radiator which has an inbuilt transmission cooler also here, which will be on this end, which will have a small hose coming in as well as another hose right here. So I had to return the originally ordered wrong part and also get the new part. Here we go. As you can see, this is exactly the same as the one that I had before. Don't mind this trim piece here. It broke in shipping, so I'm just gonna go ahead and super glue this. This does not come with a transmission cooler on its driver's side, which is exactly the one I want. So always make sure the correct part number that you need for your car, and this way you can save a lot of time and money. Now I can go ahead and install this new radiator in the car, but before I go ahead, I want to give this lower end of the radiator support a good clean, and then I can go ahead and install the radiator. Alright, the new radiator is finally installed. As you can see, this is a completely brand new radiator which I fixed for the first time completely by myself. So I'm really happy with the results, and as you can see, the hose on the top is connected. The bolt on the fan is also connected. The lower radiator hose is also properly latched in, and on the back side of it, the radiator fan is also connected now. So now the next thing to do is put the new AC condenser. All right, here is the new AC condenser, and it is relatively smaller than the radiator. There you go. And as you can see, it comes with its necessary hardware to be screwed in here and securely connected with the car. And this was the old AC condenser. So out with the old and in with the new. I'm gonna remove this piece of hardware and test fit this on the brackets right here. So for example, here's one bracket and it goes and sits directly on one end. Gently press it down so it locks itself. There you go. On the top as well as the bottom. And the same thing on the other side, on the top as well as the bottom. I want to make sure that I put these screws that were provided here, one on the top and the one on the bottom. All right, so here are these screws that were provided in the kit, and I'm just gonna go ahead and hand tighten this just like that. Hand tightening it will work, so you don't have to worry about tightening this up too much. All right, now it's time to replace the seals. Here are the seals that I took from here. So this smaller one was from here and the bigger one was from here. The seals are a bit worn out. They are not bad per se, but it's just always recommended to replace this. So here are the original seals, which looks a bit worn out, and here are the new ones, and these look exactly identical. It should be easy for you to put them back in, and it should sit snug just like that. And once you're comfortable with it, just place it back in on the AC condenser. And then you can use the OEM nuts that were given and bolt them back in. The torque specifications of these are 5 foot-pound of torque, which you should be able to do it just by your hand. All right, the AC condenser is now completely installed. So now I can go ahead and put the radiator mounts right here and the one on the other side too, just like that. Just like that. So now I can repeat the same process on the other side. Alright, so the radiator is now installed, the AC condenser is now installed. So now I can just go ahead and refill the cooling system with some antifreeze coolant. And then I will be able to turn on the car and keep the engine cool. But to recharge the AC, I will be going to a local shop because they will make sure that the system is completely vacuum, there are no leaks, as well as they will recharge the AC with some new refrigerant gas. And technically, it's not a very difficult task. I can do it completely myself. But I want to support local businesses, so I would rather have it done professionally by somebody. And then I can move on to the cosmetic work, which is looking at the front bumper. Alright, things are looking almost good right now, but as you can see, the passenger side headlight is on, but the driver's side headlight is not. And that is because the driver's side headlight had a small issue here. So the headlight is currently flipped upside down, and this is the ballast. And this is one of the brackets that goes directly right here so that it stays steady. And the other bracket is right here. But as you can see, this bracket was broken. So first what I did is I had to go ahead and glue this up. And then I used this plastic welder. And this is basically a plastic welding gun, as you can see, the mouth right here. If I click on it, and if I press the trigger on it, as you can see, this becomes very, very hot. So the idea is when it becomes really red hot, I can put this inside just like this one. So I have done one on the side, large one on the center, and a supportive one on the side right here. So this should basically completely make this bracket as strong as the original part. So now I'm going to go ahead and put another one just for the structural integrity of it. And once it's red hot, I can directly go ahead and put it in. And I will only remove my gun when the red hot is completely gone. That's when I can take it out. And this should be very much steady right now. As you can see, I can pick the whole headlight up using just this bracket. I'm just going to go ahead and cut off these metal and install the headlight. Alright, things are actually starting to look good on the front end of this car. So now I'm going to go ahead and look into the bumper. So as you remember, the bumper was completely damaged from the front. The grille is broken, so this is not salvageable, but the Hyundai logo is salvageable. So I can go ahead and remove the Hyundai logo. Only the bumper cover is the one which is broken, but everything else looks perfect. These fog lights needs to be changed. As you can see, it is cracked, and it is right here. I got a new pair of fog lights. So I went ahead and I ordered a new front bumper cover, which is right here. The bumper comes without any folds. So I should be able to completely retrofit this bumper to the old parts and install it on the front of the car and remove all the trims that can be salvageable and install it back to the new one. And obviously, because I have to pass the inspection for this car, I have to make sure that the front bumper cover is actually a CAPA certified or a CAPA certified part, which is very important in order to pass this car Make sure you ask for the right rules and regulations for your city and province, and get a certified part if you need to do so. Alright, so this is the new bumper, which looks absolutely perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and start stripping this bumper piece by piece so that I can retrofit all of these parts back to this one, and then I can install it back on the car and prep it for painting. Alright, the old broken bumper is completely stripped out. As you can see, this looks similar to the new bumper right now. I removed the lower grille. So now I will be able to transfer all of these trims to the new bumper. Check this out, the new bumper looks completely brand new, and the trim pieces from the old bumper fit exactly properly and how I wanted it to be. This looks absolutely gorgeous. Check the fitment out. I cannot wait to get this painted and test fit on the car. The next step for me right now is to cut off these molding support, but I don't have to do it right away because the grill is still on the way. I haven't received my grill yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and test fit this on the car right now, test out the fog lights, and then I can prep this bumper for paint. I really like how it turned out. The next thing on the agenda right now is to fix the bumper permanently, connect the fog lights and check out its functionality, and then I can go ahead and start attending to fix this dent right here. And after that, I just have to get my windshields replaced by a professional, and then this car will be ready for inspection. I almost forgot to put in the impact bar foam right here, and this should be behind the bumper right now, so I'm going to go ahead and fix this first and then put the bumper back on. Completely fixed the bumper properly right now with all the screws and bolts, connected the fog light connection. So now I can go ahead and turn on the lights just to see how it works. The lights work absolutely perfectly. So now I can attend the next things, which is repairing the dent right here. I'm going to remove my dent puller first to pull out the dent how much ever possible. And once I have a close to perfect finish right here, I can go ahead and sand this area off and use body filler to start prepping it for paint. Alright, check this out. The dent is now almost pulled out, as you can see. I just used my dent puller and this dent was almost completely out. And obviously, as you can see, the paint is cracked here. I need to wet sand this and apply some body filler. As you can see, there are some dings here and there, and I can then prime it up and apply some fresh new paint, and this should look absolutely brand new. Alright, I am super happy with the results so far, and it is only day 1 today. I think I should be able to complete this car in the next 2 days. In the next episode, I'm gonna attempt to make this car almost like it never had a collision and get it ready for its new customer. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button, and until next time, I'll see you on the next one.